Hello everyone, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program Episode 1. Now, I would strongly recommend you guys go ahead and watch Episode 0, which is the one that came out before this, and that explains all of the mods we will be using, all of the goals for this playthrough, as well as the some very basics about the Kerbal Space Center and things, so that I don't have to explain them again right now. Now, I will be providing some light tutorial information, anything I think is particularly relevant, but there are much better tutorials than I could ever provide available on YouTube, and I will link a playlist to a couple of them in the description below if you're interested in playing the game and would like to learn its basics rather than just watch someone who really has no idea what they're doing do their thing. Sorry, hiccup. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go into the Mission Control Center, which is still at 0 levels, so we can only take 2 contracts at once. And we're going to accept the contract to gather scientific data from Kerbal. As you can see, we have an objective to complete that will grant us 3,840, I'm going to call them dollars or credits. And we get 1,300 just for accepting the contract, and another 2,500 upon completion of its objectives, of which there are only 1. So we're going to gather scientific data, check, and launch our first vessel, check. Also in episode 0, I promised that I would try and get the community tech tree installed, and I did install it, and it didn't work. It is not built for KSP 1.3, it is still on 1.2.2. So hopefully, if we're not too far advanced down this tech tree by the time it is updated, I will be installing it, and it will make this tech tree much bigger. It's like all the way out here then. It's ridiculous. There's so many more nodes. I think it adds like 146 nodes to the tech tree as opposed to the stock 60 or so. So it's absolutely wild. It'll take us forever to do, but it's much more realistic. And you know me, I love realism. So we're going to go ahead and launch our first vessel. So right off the bat, we're going to accept Werner von Kerman's introduction into the vehicle assembly building. Again, I'm assuming a little bit of knowledge about the game, so I'm not going to go into in depth here. So we're going to click on our engines tab, these are your categories, and I'm going to select, I think, the SRML. Yeah, the SRML, the large solid rocket sounding motor. Now this is a solid rocket motor with an ISP of... not mentioned. I'm not surprised. Just so you guys don't, if you guys don't know, the ISP is your effective, your efficiency basically for your craft. There we go, 165 seconds of ISP. So that is, that's pretty low. You want that really high. I mean, most of the rocket motors in this game are around sort of 300, 400 ISP. So this is pretty dismal. But with this alone, we would get 1,980 meters of delta V, meters per second rather, of delta V, and that is effectively the amount of change in velocity you can apply to your spacecraft through work. And the work is, of course, coming out the bottom of this thing. So we're going to want to slap on a few bits. We're going to go to Utilities and slap on the sounding rocket nose cone. We're going to go down to Aerodynamics and throw on some small fins, some radial fins there. Very nice, very nice. Now, we're going to need to be able to control this thing, so we're going to go up to and slap on the small avionics package, which is part of the Sounding Rockets mod. Just like that. It looks a bit jank, but that's okay. We're also going to go ahead and throw on some experiments. So we'll take a thermometer and a barometer with us. Very cool. And we're also going to need to communicate with this thing, so we'll throw on a Communitron 16S. Rigid antenna. You do get the extendable version, which looks really cool, and it's got exactly the same effective range. I think it's, what's that, on the right, the antenna type direct, antenna rating 500k, so that is, what's that, 500,000 meters. So that's 50 kilometers, so you can't go that far. Okay, I'm just thinking, I think that's everything we need. Oh, and we'll need, of course, power to transmit this fancy information. I think this is the wrong size. Yeah, that's a scale bigger. So we're going to slap on some of these small little batteries here. We won't need that many. I think we'll probably need about 4. And these provide 20 electric charge each to us. Now, I know this rocket looks janky as hell, but that's okay. We'll get fairings and things for it soon. So we're going to go ahead and call these little sounding rockets. This will be our Ludwig. There we go, Ludwig 1. That's what I wanted to type. The Ludwig 1 rocket, and that will be the first ever rocket launched in our glorious, glorious KLA space program. The Kerbal Liberation Army is going to space. And we're going to be smashing our capitalist oppressors even though we are technically in, by definition of this mod, a capitalist company. Oh, I forgot to fix my staging, which by the way is in the bottom right-hand screen in the VAB, but we're just going to go ahead and drag this rocket motor down to the first stage, and that basically means that the higher the number, the earlier your stage will fire. So stage 9 fires before stage 8, fires before stage 7, and so on. So 0 is always your last, final stage. You press spacebar while in flight mode to engage stages. So right off the bat, we're going to go ahead and log the pressure data. We're going to transmit that science, nice, and we're going to log the pressure data, the temperature rather, and transmit it. As you can see, we are receiving no losses from transmitting from this range, which is quite nice. But our battery is quite low already. So what we're going to do, I think, is we will take only those readings on this round, and we'll get the next on the next set. We've also gone ahead already and completed our first mission. We have a milestone. We've performed an experiment at home. Very nice, free 2,000 credits there. We have completed the objective, and we completed the contract to gather scientific data. So, 3, 2, 1, launch! Yes! Look at it go! Like a phallic stabbing object into the night. And that was unnecessary, but very needed. So we're going to log the pressure data. We're going to keep that because we don't have the power to transmit it. And we're going to keep the temperature scan from flying in the low atmosphere of Kerbal. And we're just going to basically allow this thing to fall back to Kerbal. And so we're going to... Oh, by the way, you press the period and comma, that is a full stop and comma keys, to move your time warp up and down. While in atmosphere, you use something called physics time warp, which has a maximum warp of 4 times acceleration. And while in space, you can go up to, I think it's like 1,000,000 times acceleration or something insane. Or it might be 100,000. I never bothered to count at the zeros. But yeah, you can go a lot faster. However, while you're in atmosphere, the time warp also applies 4 times physics to your craft. So if your craft is particularly unstable, it is inadvisable to use the 4 times time warp setting while moving very quickly through the atmosphere, because you might get your ship ripped apart by the game engine. But while you're in space, it's completely harmless. You can go as fast as you want, it doesn't matter. So there we go. We have launched our first vessel. We've broken a bunch of speed records. We've got some, or quite a lot of speed records. We've got some altitude records. Yeah, there we go. We completed the objective and the contract itself to launch our first vessel. And this is just going to peter on gently down to the ground at 5 meters per second. For those of you wondering, the conversion between meters per second and kilometers per hour is you just multiply that by 3.6. So that would have been about 18 k's per hour. Not too fast. Let's recover that vessel, and since we're on the launch pad, we should get almost 100% of our funds back. Ooh, very nice. Oh, and we have 20 science. Glorious, glorious, juicy science. Nice. So there we go. We have 58,000 funds, but much better than the 15 we started with, if you ask me. And we're going to go in here and unlock engineering, which gives us access to better batteries, the seismometer, an external command seat for our Kerbals, as well as some basic tools for EVA actions. We also get some rover wheels, ladder, 2 ladders, some lights. Yeah, nice little package there. We'll also go ahead and get these structural parts. There we go, which gives us access to all the girders. Now again, if you're playing stock KSP, your tech tree will look like this, but it will not have the same things in the nodes. That is an artifact of the Unmanned Before Man start, which gives us a whole bunch of different things. So we're also going to go ahead, I think, and research the basic rocketry tier, which will give us access to the Reliant liquid fuel engine, which is our first liquid fuel rocket motor, as well as all the tanks for it. That's from the community tech tree. Usually those are separated along these tiers. We also get access to the larger sounding rockets, and of course the stack separators to split our rocket in half, to chop it up like a sushi chef. We also have access to the ARV winglet, which is a tilt wing control surface, but basically so it moves in the atmosphere and you can move things, and we have a much larger solid fuel booster. Very cool. Okay, we are not going to purchase all parts, thank you very much, although we will purchase these because I think they're basically free. Yeah, there we go. But we can do that in the VAB. So we're going to go ahead now and my mistake. Sorry, let's hop out. Let's hop out because we need to, of course, pick up some more contracts. Boom, jumping into mission control. We're going to go right ahead and accept the Escape the Atmosphere contract because I'm feeling ambitious today. We're going to get the hell out of here. So we're also going to accept the Test Rovmax Model M1 at the launch site. Launch site tests are nice and easy. Test TRC2 stack separated in flight 17,000 to 2,000. Moving between 290,000 and 1,700, that's pretty easy to, it's a pretty wide margin. I think we can do this. So we're going to build a small sounding rocket to do that and see how close we can get to the edge of the atmosphere. By the way, in Kerbal Space Program, the edge of the atmosphere is considered to be 70 kilometers. So let's go ahead and put this on 3 times symmetry now, just so that we can save some parts, because on your first stage of your VAB, the first tier, you only get a 30 part limit. You can see there we have 13 out of 30 parts presently used and a maximum weight of 18 tons. That is from the launch pad though, that would need to be upgraded. Same goes for the size, width and height of the vessel. That is restricted by the launch pad level. Okay, so what we can do right off the bat is, I think we're going to slap on one of these little mini stack separators. There we go. Okay, cool. And we're going to throw on, oh no, we want the sounding rocket adapter, which is technically free, no entry cost, that's good. And then using that, we're going to go ahead and put on the larger motor we just purchased. Nice. And we'll go ahead and slap on some medium fins. And then I think we will do the same. So we need to take this one up all the way there, I see. Okay, well, we will get to that. We will get to that. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. In fact, actually, I have a sneaky plan for that. I might be able to get that into orbit after all. Or not into orbit, but up to the right level. Because we still have 21 parts. Yes, we do. Awesome. I think we're going to build ourselves a little liquid fuel rocket. So we're going to buy the large tank for 4,800. Quite pricey, considering we don't have many funds at the moment, but very much worth it because we're also going to take the Reliant liquid fuel engine and slap that on the bottom. Now, if we get our staging set up correctly, okay, so after we separate that stack, we're going to want to fire that rocket motor, then we're going to want to separate and fire the second rocket motor, and then there we go. Okay, cool. So now we can also, how many parts do we have left? Oh, it's too tall. It's too tall? Really? Didn't see that coming. Huh. Okay, well I guess what if we put on the stubbier sounding rocket? Would that do it? I wonder. It's too tall, hey? That's a bit of an annoyance. Okay, no, it's fine. We can work with it. We can work with it though. How much shorter are you? Let's put it on top and see how much height it adds, right? So we're currently at 12.2 meters. If we slap that on, we get 13.4 meters. So that's very small. And if that was a 12.2, right? So if we take that off, then we are at 2.9. So this is about half the size. Well, I suppose we could have just seen that as that is. But we do need the height. Well, if we're okay with just, I suppose, if we're okay with just not bringing this back to Kerbin, then yeah, you know what, screw it. We won't put a parachute on it. This is just gonna go into space and live there forever. Oh wait, you know what we can do? Ha ha ha, we have tweak scale installed, the mod. I forgetted. We're gonna put that on there. You know what? Now screw you, you stupid thing. Why is that so tall? Jeez, that's a 10-meter part. This thing's on drugs. I think there might be the parachute deployment it's counting. But let's go ahead, right click on there. And nope, that's not what I was thinking of. Okay, I guess tweak scale doesn't apply? Yeah, tweak scale doesn't apply to the sounding rockets. Okay, well, it's not coming back to Earth then. That's soz for it. Sozzles. We'll just slap a little nose cone on top, an oversized nose cone. That'll protect our components as well, which is nice. And yeah, that's definitely going to get us to out of the atmosphere. 150%. Not even doubting that. So what we're going to do then is go ahead and research the AVR8 winglets. Put those in 4 times symmetry, as those will give us manipulatable control. Also, this rocket motor has an alternator built into it, which means that as you fire it, it will charge up our batteries, which is pretty damn sweet. So let's get Ludwig 2 on the launch pad and send it straight into space. I think yes. Yeah, that's right. 6,700 credits. We're gonna make it worth it. We're gonna make it worth it. Okay, launching. Alright, so in 3... Oop, oop. No SAS modules available, sorry. My mistake. We're going to throttle up. You press, to go full throttle, you press Z, and you press X to drop it to 0. So Z, there we go, full throttle active, and space. Let's get this bad boy launched. Now, flying without stability assist, which by the way you toggle with T, and you can temporarily toggle using F, is quite difficult because the rocket, if it tends to, if it starts flipping either way, if it's like getting a bit of a wobble like that, so we're going to put some spin on it, I think. Let's just keep up. We'll tap the Q or E keys. I'm pressing E here to put some spin on the rocket, and that should just, can I maybe change the angle? There we go. Let's limit the authority on these bad boys. Is that limiting all of them? Yes. There we go. So now I can't effect that much change. We'll put a bit of spin on it to keep it spin stabilized so that it gets into the atmosphere more comfortably. There we go. And we're beginning to reach the realm for that. Oh, damn it. And I just missed the... Shit. I just missed the altitude restrictions for that mission. We could have got it. Had to be between 17,000 and 20,000, which we were just in, and I was just too quick. Or too slow, rather. And... we're basically in orbit. Yeah, actually, no, we could probably kick ourselves out of the system at this rate. But let's take it from the upper atmosphere quickly and transmit that science. Nice. Oh, well, there we go. We're in space already. Holy shit, we're moving quickly. Okay, well, screw it, right? Let's get some more readings from space. Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. And let's fire that rocket motor and see how far out we can kick our apoapsis. That is the top of our orbit. Oh, shit, and we're straight up leaving Kerbin's orbit. We're going to get some nice world firsts for this one, ladies and gents. Okay, and that is the Ludwig II officially exiting the atmosphere. We have broken altitude records, we have broken speed records, we've reached space, for God's sake. We are freaking pros. Look at us go. Look at that, 12,000. Oh, glorious, glorious money. Now, let's see how far out this thing actually goes. There you can see our time warp on rails. Our orbit's kind of broken. We're definitely going to lose communication with it. Oh, yeah, and we're definitely leaving Kerbin's sphere of influence. We have left Kerbin's sphere of influence. We have sent something into orbit of the sun. Look at that. That is freaking cool, and we got a bunch of free money for doing that. There you go, the Ludwig II. So unnecessarily overpowered, it orbited the sun. That is pretty damn badass. So we'll press escape, go to the menu, and head back to the Space Center. Oh, there we go. It is nighttime now. We're on day 6. It took 5 days to leave the system with me fast forwarding there. But yeah, I think we're going to call that a pretty damn successful first episode. Yeah, I mean, we left the system. That's pretty cool. We didn't achieve anything by doing that, but we still left the system, and we've got a whopping 214,000 funds. But unfortunately, that is most of our world firsts gone, so we won't be able to rely on them for easy money anymore. It's going to be down to hard contractual grind. I hope you enjoyed watching, everybody. Please be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and a dislike if you didn't. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Comment down below with any suggestions which you'd like to see me do, and please be sure to subscribe. See you in the next one. Cheers.